Hey there guys, if you saw my video this morning, you noticed that I got myself a new Shui Yu, the new Lunar New Year Water Mage. So we're going to be giving her a try against a few trials. Today we're going to be doing Blades Until Infinity, Scorn of Asura. We'll probably do more trials with her a little bit later, tomorrow, later in the week, etc. But for now we're going to do Asura. This is a trial that I've run so many times, and I know a lot of people are probably tired of it. I totally understand if this video gets less views, but Asura is a hard fight, so I'm going to go ahead and use the fight to test her out. So I'll be also pointing out a few little tips and tricks I've picked up after doing Asura so many times. I'm slowly, I'm still learning little tricks to improve the clear. But Gabranth, there's no real change here. He's just a super bulky Gabranth. This is kind of needed for doing the fight today without any other really good physical tanks. Benevolent Beauty Rem. Now this is one trick I learned. She can seal light and dark with triple cast by using Ibarra's Scroll. We'll use her physical scaling skills. Other than that, she's got some Esprafil, full evasion, and the usual. And we're gonna give her guts. This will every now and then your tank will fail to cover a counter. If in phase 1 it happens, this will let her get one get out of jail free card with guts and hopefully not fail that mission if the cover tank is slow at covering. It's one little trick I learned. We're going to use Realm. This is going to be for Rod and Peril primarily. She's also going to do Undead Killer in phase 2. And she's going to be doing Rage Beast Roar to remove imperils off the tank in phase 2. And she's going to do 1,000 Needles in phase 2 to give the entire team Mirage. Again, this is so if there's a slow counter being covered. A counter slow to being covered. If Gabranth fails his job, this will help us in phase 2. She's also going to be using Thorn Mace for poison. And instead of putting poison on my breaker, I'm putting it on Realm so I can wait to apply poison until after we're under 70% in phase 2. This is going to allow us to use the poison after the healing kicks in and maybe save like one round of combat. It'll be helpful. Other than that, Esprafil and some HP. Summerfina and Lid, we gave her a disease where, like I mentioned, we kind of want to avoid applying poison too early in phase 2. So we're just going to use her for disease in phase 1. Other than that, the usual things, healing, etc., breaking, all the goodness, mana regen. And then here's Shui Yu. We're going to be doing human, demon, and undead killing, so we're geared for that. Double hand magic, we are using a rod for the synergy with Realm. We're immune to paralyze and confuse. Killers, not the best. I've got 225 human and 125 reaper. No demon at all, actually. But phase 1's a little bit easier. It's not really that big a deal. And then the shift form, the main thing is the Vermilion Flag. Again, this is optional if you have it. If you have it, this is great. If you don't have it, not that big a deal. But it does give a permanent, undispellable immunity to breaks, to magic and spirit. So we're going to pop in the shift form for just one turn during the fight, steal that permanent buff, and then go back to base form. I did gear her for spirit chaining in the shift form. The shift form is not good damage. We're not going to really do any chaining except for one turn, just to steal that buff. And then Taiji built me one as well. Immune to statuses. She's wearing the Vermilion Flag in the base form, which is fine. We actually don't have to shift her then. There we go. There's the stats. And 300 human, 75. So a little bit lower on the undead killer, but more demon killer. So it's kind of nice. It balances it out. Mine will do more damage in phase 2. Hers will do more damage in phase 1, etc. So, other than that, I mean, this is basically the typical Asura clear. You guys know what's going on by this point. We're going to go ahead and eat some counters with Rem. Realm we'll use both her cooldowns, because I actually want to get the LB on Gabranth kind of early-ish. We're going to, let's see, cover and then do some mitigates with Gabranth. We're going to break, heal, etc. with Summerfina and Lid, and we're going to do power-ups with our Shui Yu. Now the way to use her is we're going to do Blooming, Lotus Retribution, and then Waterfall. Did Taiji level the skills? She did. Outstanding. Okay, we're going to go ahead and break the boss. And because we're using Itachi's TMR, it's a guaranteed chance to disease. If you're using like Summer Whip or something, there's a chance to fail. But Itachi's TMR will always work, which is real nice. Alright, so that was mostly a setup turn. Shui Yu in the base form is going to be doing her setup once per 5 rounds, and then 4 rounds of just quad cast chaining over and over and over. Alright, so other than the Realm in Peril, I'm sorry, the Rod in Peril, the Realm in Peril, well it is the Realm in Peril, but other than the Rod in Peril in Phase 1, we're just going to be doing Golem every turn with Realm. We'll go ahead and seal the boss. We'll use a... Can I actually get the LB on Gabranth? If so, that'll be nice. We did, but I'm actually going to do his LB next turn instead. Let's go ahead and do this and this. Because that'll actually give us his better mitigation for the turn that the boss is in the attack buff mode. So the boss is at 97% with a full-powered quad cast. We did 18%. Not bad at all. That is very nice. Now, Rod in Peril is up currently, so you know that is part of the reason we did so much damage. It'll go down on turn 5 and beyond, but it'll go back up again on turn 7, so it's okay. So turn 3, we need to seal Water and Wind. I'm sorry, Water and Lightning. I always say Water and Wind. It's not Water and Wind. That would be a bad thing. Go ahead and do this. Let's seal with Water and Lightning. And do this. Alright, we are going to now shift Gabranth on this turn and do Guilt. This is going to give him an 80% mitigation for 2 turns. Let's go ahead and do this real quick. That also applies Disease. And let's do a little bit of chaining. This is going to allow us next turn, for the attack buff turn, to have a really thick Gabranth. It also gives him the permanent defense buff for the rest of the fight because he's wearing Pure Lotus in the shift form. So we're going to be dispelling him in Phase 2, and but that'll be immune to dispel, so it's pretty nice. So here's the attack buff turn. Alright, let's go ahead and shift our Gabranth back to base form. It's turn 4, we want to seal Wind and Stone. This is also the last turn of our Rod in Peril, so let's go ahead and make use of this while we can. Let's see, Stone and Wind. We'll summon Golem, Gabranth. We'll do, let's see, we'll do Cover, Mitt, and we'll just refresh the defense buff. Go ahead and wait for this to finish. Chain this up. Or power this up, I should say. Alright, I don't want to break the chain. Wait for him to finish. And let's go. So this is the last turn of the Rod in Peril, so the damage is going to go down a little bit in a moment. And we're going to take this next turn to swap my Shui Yu to the shift form, to spend 1 turn in the shift form to get the permanent buff from the Vermilion Flag. It's going to do low damage this phase, but it's going to increase damage in Phase 2 by making her immune to all the breaks in Phase 2. All the relevant breaks. Alright, so turn 5 is the... And that was the attack buff turn, so Gabranth got hit pretty hard, but because we used his LB, it was fine. So we're going to seal Holy and Dark here with Triple Dagger 3 times. We're just going to keep on using Golem every turn. Now we're going to shift my Shui Yu to get, like I said, we need to spend 1 turn in the shift form to steal that buff from the item that we're not wearing in the base form. So we'll do some chaining here. It's not like the biggest deal of chaining, but it's something. Let's do this. Yeah, so this is going to be a pretty low damage turn. For one thing, Rod in Peril is gone, but more importantly, mine is in the shift form, which is not as good at chaining. The shift form can be good if you gear it for like LB damage with like Spirit, True Double Hand and all. It's really hard to gear. And I don't have all the great sources, not to mention I don't have her STMR, which is also pretty important for that build. I'll have it one day. I'm going to go ahead and run Shui Yu through the Shard Dungeon when it comes back again, but I'm not like going to STMR Mogul or anything. I'm not in any big rush to get her STMR. It's one of those things that I'll get it eventually, but until then, we'll just do without. Alright, so we spent our 1 turn. We now have permanent break immunity. We're going to go back to the base form. And this is now a setup round. Our quad cast has worn off, so we need to Blooming, Retribution, and Waterfall again. It's turn 6. This is a fire and ice turn, I think it is. Gabranth, what are we doing with you? We're just going to cover again, I guess. Wait for this to finish. Go ahead and reapply disease. And this is, again, a setup turn, so this is going to be pretty lowish damage. We're only doing a single cast. Yeah. So Rod and Peril does go back up again. I guess, technically, I could save Rod and Peril for when Phase 2 begins, but I'm going to go ahead and use it now. That way, if I use it now, by the time it comes up again, the boss should be around 70% in Phase 2, and we'll get that Rod and Peril for the phase when the boss starts healing. So it'll be more beneficial to go ahead and use it right now. The problem is, the boss does have an attack buff, so we kind of need Golem, and Realm is our Golem unit. So in order to deal with that, we're going to just Rod and Peril, and we're going to Masterpiece Sketch. We're going to use Gabranth to do mitigation, and we're going to use one charge of his Magnus because we're not going to be using Golem this turn. It is turn 7, which is Water and Lightning, so we're going to seal that. Yeah, we only need Gabranth's Magnus for the phase change, which means using it now is okay. We got two Magnus charges we can use, you know, whenever we want. So Rod and Peril is back up again. Damage will be very, very nice now. And we're actually going to be probably pushing the phase change on turn 9, which is real nice. Or turn 8 even. Yeah, if we're doing 17% a turn, this is going to actually be pushed next turn. Oh, it is. We are definitely pushing it next turn. Very nice. Okay. 8 turn clear in Phase 1. I think that was faster than my Ibarra clear. With Terra. Was it? Oh, it might not have been. I don't know. I don't remember. That was my very first clear on Global. I already forgot it. So that was the attack buff turn. Really, really painful, but, you know, not that big a deal. We're definitely going to push the phase change here, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and disease the boss. Yeah, let's push the phase change. Perfect. Okay. So Realm, what are we doing with Realm? Okay, so Gabranth, this is the phase change. We need to do his Magnus again. So let's do this. And his mitigation. Yeah. Realm. I'm sorry, Rem. Rem and Realm. Why are there two of these? Let's go ahead and AoE re-raise and Monogamy twice just for mana regen. And we'll use Realm to just put up Undead Sketch for the killers. Okay, here it comes. Our Gabranth should survive here. Oh my, that was so painful because we didn't have a good defense buff. And I didn't do his LB thingy. We did survive, but wow, that was painful. Ouchie, ouch. Okay, so it's turn 9. The boss dispelled herself completely, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and, from now on, Realm is going to be our Golem every turn unit. We're going to break the boss with whatever this person's name is. That also imperils. The cool thing about Summerfina and Lid as our breaker, because her heal applies a 120 imperil every time we use it. So we don't have to actually waste an action, recast an imperil with our chainers. They can just go straight chaining every turn, which is real nice. The boss just cured her breaks. So Realm, we don't want to poison the boss yet. We just did Undead Sketch. So we're going to do 1,000 Needles to prevent a slow cover from killing anyone. Alright. We're going to Circle of Judgment and do a better defense buff. And I guess we're just going to chain it up with our chainers. Yeah, Phase 2, pretty tanky. As you can see, we only did 10% or 11%, which is actually not bad. It really isn't. Okay, so the boss is going to start doing Confuse and all that. We are immune to it. She's also going to start doing breaks, but because we... Oh, that hurts so much. But because we're using the Vermilion Flag, the permanent buff, we're immune to the breaks. And then the shield is up now. Turn 10 is going to be just a regular chain turn. We're not going to poison the boss yet. Let's see here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Realm, I guess we'll just do Undead Sketch. And we'll chain, I suppose, yeah. We're going to wait until the boss is below 70% to start using that poison. That way we get the full value out of it. Okay. Turn 12 is when the boss is going to cure her debuffs again. So we're going to have to dispel our tank on that turn. Let's see here. I guess we'll go ahead and 1,000 Needles this turn. We'll Golem. This is a reset up turn, so we're going to Blooming, Lotus, and Merciless. Blooming, Lotus, and Merciless. We'll break the boss. Gabranth will Spinning Blade. Go ahead and do our setup. And we're saving that one charge of Magnus in the base form for after the boss is below 70. We're saving like all our high damage skills for when the boss goes below 70. That's when the healing kicks in, and you know the healing is just the most obnoxious. Although we're already at 80% in phase 2 at turn 11, this is actually going really well. All right, so turn we do still have Undead Killer, right? One more turn, we do. Okay, we're going to use... Now, this is the turn the boss is going to cure her debuffs and keep attacking. Because we're not curing Imperils normally, we're going to use Realm this turn to Rage Beast Roar on Gabranth to dispel him. Get rid of all his Imperils. Do that before you use Golem. It's very important you do that before you summon Golem and you do all his rebuffs. So we're going to Circle of Judgment and judge his defense to do mitigation. Let's see... Summerfina and Lid will break and stuff. And, yeah, is the boss's shield up? It's actually not, but we're gonna wait on using the Magnus until the Rod and Peril is up. Waterfall, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and chain here. So this is gonna put the boss below 70 at this point. It'd be great if the boss stopped at like 71. That'd be really nice. Please. Oh, no. I think she's going to heal this turn, too. So we're actually going to lose, like, 5% of health of damage. Oh, well. Yeah, there's the cure, but because we dispelled the boss, we're fine. Alright. So the boss cured all her debuffs and such, so we're going to... Let's see here. We're going to Golem. We're going to re-break. It's turn 13. We're going to put up the Rod in Peril again. So we're going to Rod in Peril. And we're going to Undead Sketch. The boss's shield is up, though. 2 turns. We're going to wait 2 more turns until we do our good damage. So we're going to Merciless Waterfall 4 times. Okay, so in 2 turns, we're going to get some big burst coming in. I'm calling it burst. It's more like we're going to get a little bit higher damage for a turn. It's not really burst. Alright, so this should be the healing turn, I believe. And I think 1,000 Needles wears off this turn, but I kind of want to get a poison in. Then again, for safety, I think I'm going to use 1,000 Needles and then I'm going to poison the boss. Yeah, I think I'm going to use 1,000 Needles. We're going to poison the boss the turn after. There's no real rush to poison the boss. So we're going to go ahead and 1,000 Needles for now, just for the safety. That's, again, if a counter ever gets slow at being covered, it'll help. So we're going to just chain and do our things here. Gabranth will do his stuff. Turn 14. Yeah, turn 16 is the next turn the boss is going to cure her debuffs. So we're going to poison next turn. Rod and Peril is still up. And then next turn the shield is down, so we're going to use our Magnus finally on the next turn. Alright, there we go. Really painful. Really is. Alright, so the shield is down at this point, so we're going to use Realm to just hit the boss twice. This is going to poison her. We'll Golem. Let's see. Gabranth will do. I think he has to do cover this turn. We'll do cover. We'll break. And now we're finally going to use our one and only charge of her Magnus, Luin, Huu, Miracle, or something. I can't say these names. So 56%. Rod and Pearl's up. We're doing the Magnus. The shield is down. This is going to be the most damage we'll ever do in this phase. 16%. Yeah, this boss is so tanky in this phase. I think my Ibarra clear was a 17-turn clear, but we did have Terra capping twice, so it's a little unfair to compare it. Although we do have Realm on this one as well, so I don't know. But we're doing really good. All right, so this is turn 16. The boss does cure her debuffs here, so we're going to Rage Beast Roar on our tank first thing in the turn, dispel his imperils. Because the fight's almost over, we're actually going to. Oh, we have to do both. We have to cover. We only have double cast. So we're going to have to cover and mitigate. Yeah, we're going to Golem. We're going to break the boss. And at this point, we lost our Quadcast, so we're going to do that. It kind of feels bad to refresh Quadcast on a turn that Rod and Peril is up. I was just thinking, should I just triple cast while Rod and Peril's there? But no, all her buffs faded as well, so we're gonna stick to the regular rotation. So this is gonna be a really low damage turn, kind of like a waste with the Rod and Peril. Yeah, 2%. Ooh. Whatever. I think she cures poison this turn as well. Yeah, she did. Blah. All right, we can poison her one more time during this fight. So, do we still have Undead Killer? We do not. So we're going to do Undead Killer for, with Realm. Double Sketch. Let's go ahead and Undead Sketch and, I guess, Masterpiece. Let's see this. We will this and this. Do this and... back to just quad casting chains. Very exciting rotation. Alright. So we're gonna try to poison the boss next turn. Get another 10% in. The next Rod and Peril we can do, it's turn 17. We can do Rod and Peril on turn 19. And then turn 20 is going to be where the boss cures her breaks and all. The shield is down this turn. Alright, let's go ahead and punch with Realm twice. Try to get a poison in. Oh, we got it. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, let's do this and this. So we might get a turn 20 clear, maybe? Because the boss is going to take 10% from poison this turn. Oh, we might. Maybe even a turn 19 if we're lucky, because turn 19 is a Rod and Peril turn. And then 10% from poison, yeah. Oh, very nice. I think we're going to get a turn 19 clear. This is great. Realm will Undead Sketch and Rod and Peril. We'll Golem just in case. But yeah, I think we just got it. I think we just got a turn 19 clear. So 2 turns slower than Ibarra plus Terra. But, we use Realm instead of Terra, so this is more of a support clear with only 2 DPS versus 3 DPS doing it 2 turns quicker. That was still really smooth. All missions, we had no deaths. I'm not sure if cover ever failed. I think cover always worked, but if cover had failed, we had 1,000 needles up for Mirage. The majority of that clear, I think there's a few turns that I kind of risked it and just didn't reapply it. But cause it lasts for 3 turns unless consumed. But yeah, that was a real nice clear. That was pretty good. We've got a patch coming out with new content on the Japanese server in a few hours, so I'm probably not going to really focus on Bahamut tonight. I'll probably do a Behemoth clear with Shui Yu this weekend. And maybe I would even do some more of the boss rush clears. You know, at the time of this video, the boss rush is on global. I might even do more clears on that tomorrow or this weekend. But yeah, hope that was been enjoyable. That was a pretty smooth clear. See you guys for the next one.